Now here's the final trick, approach tones. And this will make you sound like a real pro. I mean, once you can play root fifth, approach tone, you can sound like you're kind of half walking the bass. You sound really good, and you sound authentic, and you know, it really puts you over the top. And you don't really have to know any theory to do any of this, but what I recommend after you finish this video is learn how to do this, of course. Get some sheet music and start doing this. And the other thing is learn some basic music theory. Once you learn some basic music theory, you can take this a whole lot farther, and you can learn how to walk the bass just like one of those jazz players who walks it on an upright bass. You can do the same thing, and then there's even more you can do. You listen to some of that New Orleans jazz with the tuba players, and you hear them just, you know, rocking out. It sounds great. But this is really the basic things. I played with guys who did almost nothing but this. So this is very satisfactory, and it works. Now here's how this approach tone thing works. Notice it's actually the same as root fifth. If you look at this, it's a half note. Even though this is a quarter note here, it's, you know, the half note, of course, is the name of the chord. This is the fifth. It's still root fifth there, root fifth, and everywhere it's root fifth. But the difference is, when you're going to another chord from B flat to D minor, when you change chords, one thing you can do, you don't have to do it every time. I've done it every time here because I wanted you to see it, is I play root fifth, and then I look ahead, I'm going to D. And I can approach that D from a note a half step above or a half step below, okay? So that's what I do. I just hit, and I hit root fifth, upper, this is an upper approach tone, E flat to D, and then it's D, root fifth, and then there's a G. I look ahead. The note I want here is a G, so I want to approach it from a half step below. And this actually gets pretty natural after a while. G is root fifth, because I don't do anything because there's no chord change. Here's root fifth, and then I'm going to go to a C minor, so I approached it here from a half step above. I'm alternating below and above, okay? And then root half step below here, and then fifth. Here I got root fifth, half step below the next name of the chord. Instead of just playing a half note, I make it quarter notes and a half note. And then F, I play an F, it's a split measure, B7, but I'm going to change to B flat, so I go B7, A, B flat. Okay, that's a half step below B flat, and I do it a final time here. You can study that and see how it goes. Now, here's the thing, you don't want to do that every single time, and usually the ones below sound a little better than the ones that are above, so you don't want to, you could split them. You know, I usually do more from below than above, but the above ones sound nice too. It has a nice flavor to it. Now I'm going to play my banjo again. You're going to get to hear me, right? Okay, and we're going to play this. It runs through it twice, and let's see if I can catch up to this thing. Here we go. There you go, and I hope you learned something from this. This is what I'd like all my tuba players. I wish I could teach this to 1,000 tuba players in town. Then I'd have 2 or 3 people who would play with us. You know, it's hard for us to get somebody. And all they have to do is be able to do this, and they can play Dixieland with my band Bordello Rhythm. Okay, there you go.